What is happening, guys? SpOrder back with more of Patrol. So we have Dylan right up here, or at least that looks like it's Dylan. So I have basically gathered my thoughts about the game, because, yeah, I'm assuming this is going to be the end of the game right here. So, yeah, basically that's what I was, I had to basically gather my thoughts a little bit. Like when the game like partially kind of sort of ended initially, I was like, I have a lot to say about this game, but I don't know how I'm gonna say it, and I think I figured that out relatively well. So, all right, here's Dylan. So she's trying to cleanse Dylan of the hiss. The last time she did that to a normal person, it didn't work. They died.
Dylan's in a coma. I don't know if there's anything of him left in there. If he'll ever find his way back. The portal's been closed, but the hiss is still in the oldest house. And the lockdown can't be lifted as long as any trace of it remains. I'm working on a solution with my management team, but there is still a long road ahead. I'm the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. We're in this together. You and I.
Okay. All right. Yes. So I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this. I have. Let me think about this. I don't have anything bad to say about this game. This game, now tentatively, I don't have anything bad to say about this game, specifically because I have certain questions that I want answered. And it could be because of my lack of, basically I tried to play the game very quickly toward the end. Obviously we're at 30 something episodes. We're at like 34, 35 episodes or something like that, without the DLC. So that's a lot. And I know that I did a lot of side stuff in the game as well. So that certainly extended out the story, if you will, or the gameplay. So pros, what I have to say really good about the game. The story, we're going to talk about the story a little bit. This is very confusing. It's confusing as hell. But I feel like it took very good breaks to basically explain things. So here's what I mean. So like initially it threw you into the game and you have all of these new concepts coming at you, objects of power. You have altered items. You have no idea what the fuck the difference is, and you're like, what the hell? And but then you could, after you did basically the first mission, you could go back to Emily Pope and you could say, hey, what are all of these things? And it basically told you, like, Emily Pope could answer certain questions that you had about things, about like what the difference between an altered item is, what the difference between an object of power is. She didn't do a great job of explaining it, but I feel like that fit really well into her character, like as she is. So the collectibles, I love the collectible system, where it felt like a ton of reading, and it was, like, looking back on all my videos, I read a lot, and I like it, but it felt sometimes it felt a little weird to collect things that seemed like very crucial parts of the story that weren't in a crucial part of the story location, if that makes sense. So like I would go off into some random fucking office and I would collect something that'd be like, oh man, like this makes this thing so much, like it makes it so much more sense. Makes it make so much more sense. Like I wish I would have found this in an area that, would have actually been key to the story. Let's see, what else? Combat. So I guess not just necessarily combat, but we're going to say smooth gameplay in general. The game was very, very smooth overall. I'm playing on the PS5, so there were no frame drops basically ever. I think I had one instance in which I had a frame drop, and that was like it. So I assume like even with the brain fugues, where it was like picking all the stuff up and then making it spin around it, I assume that would have been pretty tedious to render, like pretty difficult to render for the PlayStation. On an older system, I could definitely see how this game might have some problems, but the PS5 handles this very smoothly. The lore and environment. So basically, let me explain this. So I'm a huge sci-fi fan. Uh, Basically, I'm a sucker for everything sci-fi. So like Stranger Things, The Expanse, Fringe, anything that has like basically pseudoscience in it. I love that stuff. And this has that in basically droves. So this game was fucking amazing. And this is a type of game where I would record an episode, and then I would record an episode, and I would record an episode, and record an episode, and then be like, okay, I need to take a break, or I need to go get lunch, and then I record 2 more or 3 more episodes, and then I go get lunch. Because this made me want to play it more and more and more. Like, the more that I played this game, the more I loved it. It was amazing. Let's see. What's else? The sound design. When you shoot things in this game, and when you have like the explosions, like you levitate something and then throw it, especially if it's an explosive object, that sound was really, really good. It was like you would throw something and it made a realistic sounding explosion. It was really cool. The live action shit. This game. Most games typically don't opt for live action stuff because it's usually done very poorly. This game was the direct opposite. Basically having like the video presentations done in such a way where it was they were essentially, it felt like they were done by awkward as fuck scientists, and that's a really cool thing. I absolutely loved that. They did a really good job. It didn't feel forced at all. It felt like literally Dr. Darling was giving me a presentation and giving the entire Federal Bureau of Control a presentation. It felt really good. Let's see. The music. The music was interesting. So as you know, I had copyrighted music turned off. Oh yeah, here, look at all this music that I basically missed because I had copyrighted music turned off. It sucks. What we did have, was very good. I did really like that. There was that one section during the ashtray maze, where it was like the song was fucking playing, and I know I had myself muted, but I was like jamming out to that fucking tune. It was great. It was like 80s rock music. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And then, all right, so that's like basically the good shit that I have to say about this. And I don't want to give this like a meh, I don't want to give. Oh, fucking perfect. You are the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. The crisis is not over. Your work is not done. Great, cool, sweet. So yeah, we still got more. So yeah, I know I still have some side stuff to do. I have both DLCs to complete, so I will get to those. I don't know if they're going to be done immediately because I'm recording this currently on January 31st of 2022, and Sifu comes out in like less than a week. So I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to actually finish basically everything for Control by the time that Sifu comes out. So I definitely will get to Control DLC. I definitely will do that because this game, I love this game and I want to get to it. So, yeah. So back to my review. So the upgrade system. This is a good, I guess, way to talk about this is to actually view it. So I like this stuff, but it doesn't really make the the guns feel necessarily impactful enough. You know, like projectile speed and blast radius, yeah, that's cool for charge. But like this, basically what I did with grip and pierce is I just put on straight damage. You know, spin, put on rate of fire, which equals more damage. You know, shatter, put on projectiles fired, which equals more damage. You know, that's ultimately what this is. It's just more damage. It doesn't change the way your guns work or anything like that. The personal mods are a little bit different. This is really cool. The fact that you can have, like, you know, evade energy cost minus 25%. The fact that you can have, you know, all of your different energy costs on be lower. The fact that you can change the way, like, how strong something like your shield might be or your C speed might be, something like that. That's cool, but again, it's not really. It doesn't feel very creative. You know, it feels like, oh, you're just upgrading your abilities. Well, I do that at the fucking control points anyway, so yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah, big thing. The map. This is something I feel a lot of people are going to have a problem with. The map. Oh, what is this? This is new. I haven't been over here.
Shawshank Redemption. That's the name of the movie I was thinking of earlier. Not important, but that was it.
Interesting. Oh, this is the hotline chamber. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, that makes it easy for the director to get to the hotline chamber, so that's good. So yeah, what was I saying? The map, right? So the map is, like I said, I think it's one of those things that's going to be a point of contention with a lot of people. This is we'll say a counterintuitive map to navigate necessarily. So I'm sure you noticed throughout my playthrough, I didn't really bring up the map much because I felt like it wasn't necessarily all that super useful to me. Like the only time that I would ever bring up the map is when I was fast traveling or whenever I needed to find my way.
Jesse Faden, Director of the Federal Bureau of Control.
Oh, look at that. We got our new outfit.
I still don't quite believe it.
Yeah, so
you always knew where we were headed.
All right, cool. We can stop talking now. We're good. Yeah. So, yeah, again, the map it's not easy to navigate, and I completely understand that. And that's basically the least favorite thing I have about the game is the map, probably the map and the upgrade system. Like I said, the upgrade system's kind of boring, but I generally have a pretty good awareness of where I am in a video game. Like I have pretty good spatial awareness, so I didn't really have a problem with the map being the way it was. So yeah, that's fine for me. As far as So I have a few questions, you know, like basically one of the big things is what the hell happened to Darling? You know, I really, really want to know where Darling is, you know. We picked up that outfit earlier that I never put on. So we got the asynchronous suit. Ooh. That's like reverse Jesse. Office assistant. Fucking great. Nice. P7, yep. And then we saw the astral dive suit. Civilian is what I've been wearing. We're going to put on this. I like this. I think that looks cool. Yeah, I'll take this. So yeah, basically I have questions. You know, I want to know what the difference between like Polaris and Hedron is. I don't know if they're the same entity, and they didn't really explain it all that well. It could be, you know, maybe I missed a collectible or three, and I, you know, have to essentially go look for them. That being said, I'm gonna play this game a hell of a lot off recording. So like I said, I still have the DLC to do, so we would definitely be doing the DLC in recording. But I want to finish the side stuff. I love this game. This is one of my favorite third-person shooters basically ever. So yeah. Boardroom. Oh, what is this? Oh, look, more readables. Fucking great. Variants and alterations. His corruption manifests in vastly different ways. Some hosts remain largely unchanged, while others are barely recognizable as human. Yeah, I'm looking at you, fucking his distorted. What determines this level of alteration? Is it the duration of the corruption? It could simply be an evolutionary process, each entity representing a stage of growth and an undiscovered linear progression leading towards what? Additionally, his entities possess various paranatural abilities. How have they achieved this? Do they gain them from corrupting objects of power? Have they corrupted a single highly talented para-utilitarian and divided their access to paranatural abilities across the hosts of his corrupted hosts? Across the network of his corrupted hosts. As a scientist, I am hindered by a sheer number of questions. It is difficult to identify where one should begin. What is the most pertinent question? How do we kill it? That seems like a good start. True. Let's see. So we picked up some more stuff. So research and records. I am the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. Fucking perfect. Slide projector. The object is a blank with a vertical tray. Interesting. The object creates blank. Yeah, obviously we know what it does. The only blank to successfully produce this effect resulted in the capture of blank, probably head drawn. Object has not been successfully bound. The para-utility of this object does not require binding. Discovered when the Bureau responded to the ordinary AWE. Many of the accompanying blank were blank. Agents were killed. The entirety of the ordinary dump site was transported to the Bureau for examination to find additional objects of power or other altered materials. Hotline. Endless grind? This doesn't sound good. I don't like endless grinds.
Reflection trapped in the darkness of the coffee I nurse. Rain turns the lights of the city into a mosaic on the windows. The day's paper lists all the things wrong in the world. The list grows longer by the day. The difference between the morning and the night. Coffee. Whiskey.
No other difference.
The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. It feels like I just closed my eyes. It's dark. I sit up on the bed in the gloom. I get up, I shower. The driver waits for me downstairs, takes me to the oldest house. An old man stares at me in the car window. It's raining. It's dark. Late at night, he brings me back here. It's not a home, it's a room where I sleep in. Waking up just as tired as I was before going to bed. Endless grind.
The future. The hiss is removed from the astral plane. That's good. You have beaten the not you. We tolerate you very much. We will speak again in the future expansion. Yep. Exactly. That's the DLC. Oh, hello. You have a thing.
Jess,
Man, I love this
good
outfit.
To see you. We've got Dylan situated in his containment cell like you asked. I've got medical staff running tests as we speak, and I'd be happy to walk you through the details later. Other than that, what's next?
With the slide projector turned off, the hiss are shut out, but we're stuck with the ones already here. We can't lift the lockdown until they're all eradicated. If any hiss ever got out, that would be the end of everything.
Eliminating them all will take time. Look, I'll do what I can on my end, but my research is progressing slower than I'd like.
I think I can help with that. I am making you the head of research, effective immediately. I want you to use everything the Bureau has, every resource, every confidential scrap of data, and find a way to keep the hiss out for good.
That's it. Really? I mean, yes, I can certainly... Yes. Yes, I accept.
You'll do great. Besides, I didn't really have anyone else lined up.
I'm honored, Jesse, really. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Oh, she has a thing again. What the hell?
Do you remember Mr. Tomasi, the head of communications?
Yep, episode 3.
He's changed into showed up in containment near the turntable.
I'll take care of it. That thing's not getting away this time.
I've heard reports about his particular use of language and intonation when repeating the Hiss babbling. The biological and behavioral distinctions between different Hiss corrupted individuals is truly fascinating. I wonder if I could categorize the data.
And she's already off on her own thing.
Oh, sweet. Mr. Tomasi. Okay, cool. Yeah, wow. We haven't talked about any of this stuff.
How do you feel about me taking over as director?
You act like it just happened. You've been director since we first met, remember? I am still thrilled. Nothing's changed. Not for me. But the Bureau has changed. Trench and Darling are gone. Their knowledge, anything not written down, disappeared with them.
Well, we have the hotline.
Than anyone.
They're the Bureau's past, Emily. We won't operate like they did. We'll learn from their mistakes. We'll be better than they ever were. We won't ever be like them. When the Hiss got into my head, I saw some weird things.
Is this going to answer a question?
Darling even spoke to me. Does that make any sense to you?
Empirically, no, but phantom voices as well as hallucinatory states are not uncommon here. And considering the forces that Dr. Darling was working with, he could have been transferred to a different plane of consciousness, physically or otherwise.
And that doesn't upset you?
Oh, very. The fact that he hid those forces from me, it's infuriating. But Darling's dream was always to look beyond our reality. This time he may have taken a step too far, but as long as his consciousness can perceive his surroundings, I'm sure he's loving it.
Maybe Darling was just trying to protect you from the darker side of his work.
Fuck that. I'm not a child. I can't just assume I'm going to consider something morally repugnant.
Which it all was.
Which it all was, of course.
How was Dylan?
I like Emily Pope a lot.
The same. I can't detect any his activity, but his physiology has certainly been altered by it. I can't tell if his brain activity is genuine or simply the aftermath of the Hiss, like spasms. Dylan could wake up tomorrow for all I know. I really can't say.
Then I just have to wait for him. That's fair. He waited a long time for me.
Don't worry. We'll be monitoring him round the clock. If he wakes up, we'll be ready. I don't mean that in a hostile way, just... well, you know.
I hear you. My brother isn't exactly popular around here.
Yeah, that's
One
true.
day he'll have the chance to change that.
HRA failure.
There was a moment after Hedron died that I couldn't feel my powers. The Hiss got into my head. Just for a moment.
So that explains the HRA outage. Before we knew what was happening, the Hiss had us. They were in my head. I saw terrible things. I mean, I was about to go under forever when the Hiss was pushed back. The HRAs had come back on. Dylan vanished afterwards, and we fought off the Hiss that came after him. So if Hedron's death knocked out the HRAs, that means there must be a new local source for them to relay, which I'm guessing must be...
me.
You. Hedron is dead. Assuming
AKA,
it applies
don't
to a
die.
resident-based life form. But whatever it awakened in you, the power you call Polaris, is still active. Or at least, that's what my instruments are telling me.
I don't think we're ever gonna understand all of this. And I'm okay with that. I'm just glad you're here with me. That's good to know. Thanks, Emily.
Alright, we have one last thing. The board. The
I
most
found Dylan
fucking...
attacking the astral plane and the board. What was he hoping to accomplish?
The biggest question of all.
Huh. Since they arrived, Hiss have been corrupting objects of power, which have an inherent link to the astral plane. Maybe their goal was to access the astral plane and the board itself.
What does that mean?
Tell us why.
His motives are a difficult thing to work out, but I have been digging through confidential files and noticed a strange gap in knowledge regarding the board. Looks like any data on them has either been deleted or was never gathered in the first place.
Then maybe it's time someone looked into that.
Maybe it is.
Mrs. Head of Research, please. DLC,
Well,
please.
I've got a bureau to run.
Tell me more about the board.
Yes, ma'am, Director Faden.
Please, Emily. Not even as a joke.
Not even as a joke.
Yeah, I found a file on the old director, Northmore. Didn't list any dated death. You know anything about that?
Could be an error. The records staff process a lot of data. Maybe it just slipped through.
Yeah, maybe.
Huh.
I don't think I ever told you this, but
Wasn't
I was
he,
actually
like,
on path to being a ranger once. Did the whole
in the
rookie
thing?
Even got rookie status. Anyway, not the point.
In the generator?
Ranger squad was a great bunch. There was 6 plus me. Remus, Hazard, Cho, Guy, Hepton, Stoll, and Thompson. They were supposed to get back from an expedition yesterday. We had beers and wings planned. Problem is, they weren't here when Darling handed out the HRAs.
Then they had nothing protecting them from the hiss.
You see, they prepped for the worst, but I think that we're already past that. We all wore these pouches around our neck, and I really don't want the hiss to get them. Could you find them for me? The squad would have come back through maintenance, but they probably spread out from there.
I'll keep an eye out for them, Arish. And I won't let them stay hiss.
Oh, jeez. There's a lot of... Oh, my God, dude. There's so much talking.
So, what's next for Simon Arish?
Well, first off, I'm banning all slide projectors. That's it. Seriously, though, we need to review our protocols. Research should not be making decisions that endanger the entire Bureau. Fuck it. The entire fucking world without some serious oversight.
I think Pope would agree. Certain people in the Bureau have been working in the shadows for too long.
And I'd like to make these HRAs part of the mandatory Bureau uniform. They're not stylish, but better safe than sorry.
I don't think anyone will complain. Not after this.
Yeah, probably not.
What are your thoughts on me serving as director?
Well, I couldn't be more excited. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, Trench was fine, but you pulled us back from the brink, so... Well, I'm honored to serve, man. I mean, fuck, shit. Faden. Sorry.
He'll get it one day.
Fuck.
So,
Shit.
What's the situation in my bureau, Arish?
The situation is we are still up to our eyes in Hiss. Not to mention the months of repairs it's gonna take just to get this place up and running again.
But is it doable?
Of course it is. You just might need to tell some rangers to grab a wrench once they're done hunting Hiss.
Did anyone ever mention to you that Darling was using the slide projector?
Salvador never did, but I doubt he even knew. Look, I'm well aware that it's our job to study and contain the things that we don't understand, but some of the things that Darling did were way outside of our mission statement. Look, these things are not toys, and acting like they are is only ever going to end one way.
That's
At
true.
least Pope seems to understand that.
Well, it's secure now. No one can reach it without my say-so.
But thank Christ for that.
Marshall.
Marshall's been missing for a while now. Any ideas where she could be?
The last time I saw her was in maintenance when I was leading the Rangers out of the Atlas. Yeah, I told her it wasn't safe, but she said she had to go check on something.
Did you ask where she was going?
Whew. Marshall is not the kind of person you question. Kind of intimidating, you know? But, she was by herself, if that helps at all.
Not really, but thanks. Hopefully she turns up.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'll see you later.
Alright, so yeah, we clearly still have some side stuff to do. So yeah, we have We have to go do this for fucking Aughty. We have to do this, which is finding Arisha's old squad mates. We have to do Mr. Tomasi. So that's gonna probably be boss fight part 2 for him. Good to hear. All right, so yeah, we have a lot of stuff left to do. So we're actually gonna wrap things up here. I've already given my review of the game, but I mean, obviously you heard my review. I fucking love this game. We're gonna keep playing it until there's nothing more left. Well, besides maybe Expeditions. We probably won't do Expeditions. But yeah, we're definitely gonna do both DLC. I don't know when exactly that will happen, but it most certainly will. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, I will 100%. That's gonna be the best way for you to keep up to date on when I'm actually gonna do the DLC. So if I don't manage to do them soon. So yeah, I also have a Discord down in my description, so you should check that out. And yeah, it'll be we're gonna have a good time. So thanks for stopping on by. Hope you're really enjoying it, and I'll see you all in the next episode.